The purpose of a slab is to create a flat sheet of clay to be used in project construction. Go ahead and write the purpose down on your worksheet now. Our first step is to pat a wedge piece of clay into kind of a flattened shape, flattened rectangular shape. So I've got my wedge piece of clay here. I'm going to kind of pat that just to get it started, get it flattened out a little bit before we begin. Notice I didn't do that on the table because it probably would have stuck to the table. So I've got my semi-rectangular pieces, just going to kind of give us a head start on creating this. Now I need to place it on a rag. Here's my rag right here. It's from a piece of a t-shirt. Flattening it out, making sure that I get as many wrinkles out as I can. I'm going to put my clay on that rag. I recommend not using a terry cloth rag, like a towel type rag. As you roll it out into the slab, it's going to get stuck in this these little loops of fabric. So don't use a rag like this, use a t-shirt type rag like this, or just a smooth type of cloth. Now I'm going to place a thickness guide on either side of my clay piece. These are kind of like railroad tracks. Now I'm going to place a rag over the top of the clay. Students often forget the rag underneath and the rag on top, and it just creates a big sticky mess. I'm going to use this piece of PVC pipe to roll out the slab, making sure that both ends of the pipe are in contact with our thickness guides the whole time. Remember, our thickness guides are these wood pieces right here. If you're rolling it out and one edge of the pipe is not on the thickness guide, this side is going to be thick and this side's going to be super thin. That's not good. We want it to be an even thickness, and that's what these are for. We got to imagine that this is your train and these are the wheels of the train. Both of them have to be on the tracks all the time. Be patient with rolling this out. Only push down a little bit at a time. Again, making sure that you're staying on those thickness guides. Okay, we're getting a little bit thinner, but it's still not the same thickness as our thickness guides. So I'm going to flip it over. You can see where there's a crease in the fabric will create a crease in your slab. So you want to keep flipping it over, keep moving the rag so that you make sure to avoid creases as much as possible. Now I'm going to show you sped up here how to continue rolling out, making it even, and then eventually cutting the slab into the pieces that you'll need for your mug. So here I'm cutting out a rectangle as big as I can, using as much of the clay piece as I can to make the sides of the mug. Now I'm wedging that piece that the pieces that were cut away, forming it into a puck shape, using the same process to roll it out. This is going to be the base of my mug. Measuring it here, cutting it a little bit larger than the actual base. Now I'm wedging the additional clay to make the handle. Now I'm going to use 2 thickness guides to make the handle a little bit thicker than the other pieces. Go with these pieces. What I'd like you to do is, if you can, re-wedge them and make them into one of your facial features. If you can't, just add them into the slip container. We'll be using that next. So we've got our pieces here. That large slab for the sides, this piece for the bottom, and this thicker piece for our handle.